Yo, hello again. Hasn't been that long since I did my last video, has it? Which was from my PMI Thailand PM versus CM gig. But this time I'm moving to the other side of the world, to the USA, in fact, and the PMI Silver Spring Chapter in Maryland near Washington. I've got to say, again, as I always do, it was a great session and the Q&A was interesting, from which I've chosen this specific question from Mitra Krishnamoorthy, I hope I got the name right, Mitra, who's a senior manager at Customer Value Partners, who provide targeted strategies and innovative technological solutions that identify business and organizational challenges. Wow, sounds like an interesting company to work for, Mitra. So, what was the question? Nearly forgot, didn't I? Oh yeah, the question. Oh, I remember now. How do you measure and track adoption? Nice and simple. Aha! The holy grail of change management. Well, it is kind of, it's just missing usage. So what I'm going to do is actually include usage as well in this video, because the two are intrinsically linked. So, to kick things off, I've got to say, as I intimated with my Holy Grail comment, statement, or whatever it was, that for me, usage and adoption are the two most important success criteria for any technology implementation, whatever kind it may be. At the end of the day, if people do not use what has been implemented, then there was no point in actually doing it in the first place. Your implementation becomes a waste of money, time and effort. The business benefits that you originally developed will not likely be met, and your return on investment will go down the proverbial plug hole. Think about it for a minute. Usage and adoption is more than just a matter of training users to use new technology. Remember, by implementing a new technology, you are disrupting the daily routine of people in your business. As well as this, there are also many other barriers to achieving a good user adoption rate, such as users not being tech savvy, the lack of user buy-in, the availability of training time, which always seems to get pushed to the end, providing awareness to end users, which is all about consistent and timely communication, a lack of implementation strategy. Yes, there's been a few of those around that I've worked with. A lack of user competency. Well, if they're trained properly, then that shouldn't happen. And the implementation just being too damn disruptive. But let me explain what exactly is usage and adoption. And I'll try and keep it simple, for my simple brain works on a very simple, pragmatic level. Adoption is the percentage of people actively using a given resource. Usage is the amount or level of use of that resource. Just to illustrate why this distinction is important, let me give you this example. A company can have great usage but poor adoption because they have small percentage of people using the technology a lot. This may be great return on investment for those few users, but companies need widespread adoption and usage in order to increase productivity and experience true digital transformation. In a 2018 article, Thomas Sharon says, understanding people's adoption behavior towards a thing, which could be a feature, a service, a product, a process, a new solution, is extremely helpful in identifying whether or not that thing is providing value. When people are quick to try something out for the first time, it means they care about the problem it's trying to solve and they have high expectations of it. High adoption numbers mean that your thing has promise. It goes on to say that there are three main adoption metrics. Number one, the adoption rate, the percentage of new users of a feature. The formula for calculating adoption rate is number of new users divided by total number of users. That's an easy one, even for me. Time to first key action. The mean time it takes a new user to try an existing feature or an existing user to try a new feature for the first time. A little bit more complicated. And the third one is the percentage of users who performed a key action for the first time, which is a slightly different way to examine the first experience. What percentage of users have performed an action you care about for the first time in a given time period? Yeah, kind of hard to understand or simple to understand, but take a listen to them a few times. I think they'll become clearer, hopefully. Okay, I haven't said a lot about usage, so I'm going to talk about usage now. There is a DeLone and McLean model of 1992, which was enhanced in 2013, by the way, which talks about the degree and manner in which employees and customers, for that fact, utilize the capabilities of a system and suggests a number of measures, such as things like the amount of use, the frequency of use, the nature of use, the appropriateness of use, the extent of use, and the purpose of use. Then, from an article by excuse me, Santosa Consulting, they say usage is the ante in the IT transition game. It is necessary but not sufficient as a measure of success. After all, what choice do users have but to use what is the only game in town that's been implemented, whatever that may be? Okay, they have no choice. They have to use it. The old system's gone. On the other hand, true adoption may be more about psych and emotions than tactics. It generally is the extent to which users fully embrace the new system in a manner that leads to behavioural changes behind the improved results. Usage and adoption are, as I said, a duality. Both are essential in that neither alone can lead to success. Simply saying that more users will yield more benefits without considering the nature of the use is clearly insufficient, and by simply measuring the amount of time a system is used does not properly capture the relationship between usage and the realization of expected benefits. Finally, how do you track usage and adoption? Well, I've given some examples of the different measures in this video, but today most solutions have some sort of log that collects user activity directly from each monitor, desktop and laptop to provide visibility and insight of end user activity. If they don't, there are many applications on the market that can be implemented and configured to collect the adoption and usage metrics that are important to your implementation. And you could even use surveys, you can use stakeholder meetings, stakeholder interviews is what I'm trying to say. I've got lost for a minute there. So you can use any means you might want to consider. You can even use direct observation if that's a thing you want to do. So go for it and search for the holy grail of change management. It's out there somewhere, definitely. So just to finalize, thanks for the question, Mitra, and for all my other watchers and subscribers. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again. So sunny day. Sorry, I'm totally losing it. Oh my goodness me. Okay, I just had to sing that. Okay. Oh, and one last thing. I ran a poll recently about whether I should carry on with these videos or not, because my viewing rate was kind of going down a fair bit. The current results, I think the poll ends on Sunday, but the current results are about 75% saying, yeah, carry on, go with it. Okay, and about 25%, not 25%, about 15% saying, nah, forget it, it's a waste of time. But hey, I'm going to carry on for a while anyway. Okay, so thanks for that, and cheers, see you next time.